Hi, folks. So what I'd like to talk about is a little bit more VLabs and especially how OneDrive fits into this. But by the way, when you're running VLabs, so I'm in the mechanical engineering VLabs pool right now, and I just installed Camtasia, which is a screen capture package, and it installs really fast. So what you can use VLabs for is essentially a sandbox if you want to download and install different items and check out what it's like using really good graphics. Like, for instance, I'm sure none of you know what Steam is, but if you were to download Steam and install Steam, you can run your games in here. The only caveat is you have to do it all the time, but again, the system is really freaking fast, and all the installations happen very, very quickly. So let's just see how quickly it takes to install Steam. All right, so I don't know, it's been a while since I've installed Steam on my own system, but I seem to think that this is pretty darn fast. Again, you know, I could be wrong, but it is what it is. So we'll just let that work, and we'll come back and play with that in a little bit maybe, if we want to. All right, so what about OneDrive? So if you're on your own computer, let me go back to here, and we will click on, I'm just going to type in onedrive.uml.edu. So once I'm in here, I use OneDrive, so I have a bunch of files in here. If you don't use OneDrive, or if you haven't up till now, you might just see a big empty here. But this is where you're going to see your files when you put things here from inside VLabs. So for instance, here's the File Explorer in VLabs right now. If I click on this PC, you'll see that there are a bunch of drives that we have that you're going to see. So this is what they call the collaborative drive. This is like the big Wild West. If I open up here, anybody, any student or any user of VLabs can put stuff here. So it tends to be very messy. The IT people are supposed to clean this out every once in a while, but whatever. But I just saw myself there. So I haven't put anything here. I was just showing an example last time. But say we want this person's Space Hawk, their antenna designs here. That's one of the CubeSat capstones that they've done work on. But anyway, you get the point. There's lots of stuff that's here, and you can, anything you drop there, it's a good way of transferring files between people if you want to. This, the one that's going to have your name on it, is referred to as the K drive, and you'll see it says K here. So this is a local drive, meaning it's within the UMass Lowell system, and supposedly this is a slightly faster drive to get to, but I never really see that much difference between the K drive and OneDrive, especially now that they've updated the hardware and everything within VLabs. So OneDrive is over here, and if you take a look at what's available in OneDrive versus what I have over here, you should see sort of a one-to-one correspondence between the notebooks. So class notebooks, course materials, engine parts, class materials. For some reason, let me go A to Z here, and there. Okay, so I wasn't sorted by name here. So class notebooks, course materials, engine parts, etc. And the other ones, the other drives that you might want to take a look at that are available to you, this is the department drive. So faculty have write access into this, and students shouldn't have write access into it. Every once in a while it gets pretty messy right here. So for instance, I don't know where all this stuff is. So, but I have the ability to go in here and delete stuff. So let me see. I'm not going to do that right now. But here is the mechanical engineering department, and I'm pretty much the only one in mechanical engineering that uses it. So we'll come in and I'll utilize this a little bit during the class. So if I have particular items that I want to provide for you for the class, I would be putting them here into the B drive under mechanical under Mech 2010. So, and then the last drive is, there's the network drive, and actually these are my computers. This is a USB that I have plugged in, and this is actually my own computer that I'm logged into. So if I click here, this is all the files on my own computer. You can access material that way. And if I go up here, this is an SD card that I actually have plugged into my computer. Which it's the SD card that I use in my GoPro, so I have some videos in here. And how do you do that? Well, when you are running VLabs, you come up here. So I didn't show you that before. So at the top here, well, let me just. All right, so that's pretty much the main gist of everything. So when you're inside VLabs and you're doing something, so say again, I open up SolidWorks and I'm going to be running SolidWorks. When I want to save files, I'm going to recommend that you save them to your OneDrive so that you have access to them, but you have a bunch of options. Well, in this case, you can save them to OneDrive, you can save them to the K drive, and actually, since you're probably all working at home, you can save them to your local computer. So you have plenty of options here. So again, all right, so I'll just create a quick sketch. So I'm going to sketch on the front plane. I'll just make a box. Actually, I'm going to make a circle because I have put it in less dimensions on that. So I'll just put on a diameter dimension. Make it 4, and then I will make a feature out of it by extruding it. Set distance, and I'm going to click Save. So in this case, again, where do you want to save? Well, the biggest thing you don't want to save it is to any of these, desktop documents, downloads, because these are not anything that you have access to after you log off. But in this case, you want to click on this PC, and you want to save it to one of these things. So again, I'm going to say OneDrive, but if you have it set up correctly, you will probably see your computer on it as well, though sometimes it's a little bit harder to distinguish which ones are which. So because they're not the names aren't going to stay. So I'm going to just advocate that you just put it directly into OneDrive, make yourself a Mech 2010 folder, and in this case, this will be second part. Okay, so if I shut down SolidWorks now, and now if I go to Files in OneDrive, so here I am accessing my OneDrive through Chrome, and if I click on Mech 2010, there's the parts. So you can just see that the part was made just a few seconds ago. The other thing that's nice about OneDrive is that it actually will keep versions as well. So if you make changes to your part, every time you click Save, there will be additional versions that get shown up here. I don't know where we can manage access version history. So there will be a version history, and you can go back to previous versions, which is kind of nice. So, oh, there's Steam. Let me see if I can log into an existing account if it actually remembers. I don't remember what my Steam passwords are. But anyway, you can use this as a sandbox as well to run different programs. All right, so that's all I have for right now. So again, this is Professor Sullivan signing out. But again, you can load Steam or you can load any other programs here. However, when you log out and log back in, Steam will no longer be installed, and in my case, neither will Camtasia. It just goes back to 0. So that's all I have for now in talking about OneDrive. So I'll be posting up an additional videos, but for now, that's all I have. So this is Professor Sullivan signing out.